Hi, this is the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Monday, March the 17th. My name is Barry Anderson, and I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in as a guest, or you can use your Facebook or your Twitter account to log in. Well, let me just go right to the charts, and we'll just take a quick look at the SPY. Well, obviously, what's happened today is that the market has kind of shrugged off the what happened on Sunday and the vote. I think the market obviously knew that the vote in the Crimea was going to be resoundingly for, and it came in, I don't know, at 95%. But I think what really the market wanted to see was there going to be any military action? What sort of posturing was going to take place? And so far, so good. Obviously, no military action, and the only economic sanctions so far, anyway, are against about, I think, about 30 or 35 individuals when you combine the USA and the European Union, what they're doing. So far, so good, but we'll have to wait to see what tomorrow brings. Now, I only traded one stock today in the room. That was VeriSign. Let me just expand that just a little bit. Now, VeriSign came in on my custom strategy and actually came in as a short alert at 952. The price at 48.91, so right in this area right here. And I actually did try to short it, but my broker had no shorts. So I, which was, I guess, when I look at it right now, obviously not a bad thing because it only went down to 48.55. So at best, it would have been a scalp short. But I decided I was going to watch it because the minute I see something like this, I think, well, maybe there'll be a bounce play later on available. But it actually turned around rather quickly. And these are 5-minute candles. So when this candle came in and then the next one, basically hitting into the $50 level, I wanted to see if it could hold the $50 level. And you can see right here, well, right here it went through and decided to take the trade at 50.19. And this is the next candle, the next 5-minute candle, and it expanded up to, I think, 50.33 or so. But then it stalled, and as it started coming down, again, I'm a pretty conservative trader. I decided to bail on the trade right where I bought it. And the reason I did that is that the stock had already been hit fairly hard. And this for me, it was still fairly early in the day, 10:15, so 45 minutes in. And so I wasn't quite sure, and we never are quite sure, of course, but whether or not this was just going to be a pull up and whether or not it would continue down. So I decided to get out of the trade, basically right where I bought it. But I wanted to watch it to see how it held the 50 mark. And you can see right here, this is $50, and you can see that this candle and this candle and this candle, they all nudged into the 50 mark but held. So I'd said to the room that just above this high here would be probably a good place to take it. And as I was posting it, and I took the trade at 50.34, and it looked pretty good, but it went down here again, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do, to be honest, but it held, and as it made its way back up, breathed a bit of a sigh of relief, and took out half at 50.64 and the other half at 50.74. So that was it for me as far as posting trades in the room today. Again, a rather boring day. Didn't find a lot of stocks that had what I would call good continuation. I'm going to change gears just a little bit here because I had a question in the room today and let me just bring up my movers. I had a question in the room today, and this was in the pre-market. I actually got the question, and the individual wanted to know why in their top list, and again, this was in the pre-market, why their top list had no symbols in it. And they sent me the link, and I took a look at it. Now, let me just show you what mine is. Here's a summary, and well, I'm looking for stocks that are traded at least 20,000 shares and up or down at least 3%. Now, their filters weren't exactly the same, but there was no filter in there. And the filter I'm going to talk about is the relative volume filter. The relative volume filter can only be used during the market hours from 9:30 to 4 o'clock. If you put the relative volume filter in a top list and you try to see that top list in the pre-market, you will not get any symbols in your top list. It basically, so you just have to remember that. It only works between 9:30 and 4 o'clock. And if you put it in, you will not see any symbols in the pre-market. So when I looked at the collaboration link though, the relative volume filter was not here. But I checked the sort, and this is the server sort, and this is something a lot of people don't quite understand. And I'm going to go over a little bit just about it a little bit later. But what had happened is that this person had the relative volume had been selected. Now that person probably hadn't done that consciously, or maybe had never done it at all. It might have been the default, so because when you open up a new top list, it's going to default to some sort on the server, and so it more than likely it had already been defaulted to this, and that's why this wasn't working. So the minute we changed it to another sort, to say price, I can't remember what the person did, but we changed it to another sort, and then the top list started to work fine. So let me just show you what you can do, how you can do to, in order not to have that happen to yourself, in case you have that right now already on the relative volume filter, that's the sort. Let me just bring up a new top list, and you can see that this is now sorted on the relative volume. All right. And so what I want to do is I don't want that anymore. I want every time I start a new top list, I want it to default to something else. So let's just change that to price. So if I change that to price and click OK, and then I go save as default, and that should do it. Now just to prove it, I'll close out and I'll do another new top list, and let's just see how it is sorted. You can see how it is now sorted on price. Remember the first time it was sorted on relative volume. Now every time I start a new top list, it's going to be sorted. The server sort will be on price. Now that doesn't mean, of course, that you can't sort your columns on whatever you want, but the server sort is going to be on price. Now, why is that of any interest? And I'm just going to show you because a lot of people don't know about the server sort and what it actually can do. So here you can see I've got a couple of top lists, and how I've got it sorted. I wanted to find stocks that were that closed right at the top of the range today. In other words, right at the high of the day. And this is the position and range filter. And because it's saying 100% means all of these stocks close right at the top of the day. And this is the same list, just in a different order. And why has that happened? Because one list is sorted on price. See, so you can see right here, I've got the top price all the way down to the bottom price. And how have I done that? If I go to the configure and sort, again, this is the server sort, and you can see how it is sorted on price. Just close that out. Now this one is sorted on relative volume. You can see right here, this is the top relative volume, and then all the way down to the lowest. And again, how did I do that? Just go to the sort, and this is sorting on relative volume. So this is the sort within the sort. So this is how Trade Ideas knows how it's going to, like, why does it put CATC on top here? Because it is sorted on price first within the position and range. And here it is sorted on relative volume. So it's going to put the relative volume leaders first, sorted within the position and range. So that's just a quick explanation of what the server sort does, because probably a lot of people didn't even know it existed, and if they did know it existed, might not have known how to use it. So hope that gives you a little idea. So again, I'll just bring up the cover page, and this is how to get into the trading room, and you can log in as a guest or use your Facebook or your Twitter account to log in. So I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow, and good trading on Tuesday.